We have a beautiful daughter who's 31 years old, who really has been part of the joy of our life. And then we've been blessed with an amazing grandson who's 11 months old, who's just, I never thought life could be this way. I never thought it'd be better. In fact, there he is. And you have my wife and daughter too, right? Thank you, Martin. So, a little bit about me. I've been in the side that is probably like the Antichrist to most people in network marketing on the corporate side. Everything you guys talk about, what you don't want to do, I did. And I grew up in that business. I started with a small West Coast retailer. Actually, I met my wife there. It was a public company, a chain of automotive stores. And at 28 years old, I became a vice president for them. And then I became a senior vice president. I then sold that company. And then it was, what do I do next? And there were a couple of companies out there that were looking for people, and one of them happened to be this kind of small company called the Home Depot. The Home Depot had 136 stores. So I applied there, and they said, we'd love to have you come to work for us in Atlanta, Georgia. And my wife and I decided we didn't want to live in Atlanta, Georgia. We're from the San Francisco Bay Area, and that's where we wanted to stay. So they said the only thing you can do is become an assistant manager in a store, and you can do that for about 5 or 6 years, and then hopefully, if you do everything right, you can get promoted to a store manager, and you can do that for 5 or 6 years, and maybe a district manager. It's almost like selling network marketing. So I went to work as an assistant manager, and I did that for about 10 months. And then I was a store manager for about a year, a little less than a year. Then I became a district manager, and then I became a vice president for the Home Depot, a vice president of supply chain. So what I did is I managed all the movement of product in any Home Depot entity around the world. Small task, right? A lot of good people, though, thank God. I then went back to my core after that, and I ran about 140 Home Depot stores in Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. It was about a $3.5 billion business. And then, by good fortune, I got the opportunity to come back to California and run a $5.4 billion territory for the Home Depot in Northern California, Nevada, Utah, and Wyoming that had about 22,000 people that worked in my little area that I operated. I was with Home Depot for 17 years. And as we all know, people follow people. And my boss at Home Depot became the CEO of a company called 24 Hour Fitness. And then I went over to 24 Hour Fitness as a vice president. And really what I started to do there was trying to put together the underperforming units of 24 Hour to really find out, is there any commonality there that we can build that through? While I was with 24 Hour, and when we lived in Atlanta, a friend of ours who retired at a very young age, and he started to explain to me that he made his money in network marketing, which I had really never heard of other than Amway and Shackley. Nobody's ever in my life called me up and said, hey, I have an opportunity for you. And he explained to me, and I thought, okay. And then he called me up and he says, listen, there's a network marketing company we're with, and they can really use your help. So I met with that company, and it's where I met Joe Giuliano. Joe was a master distributor there. And I spent probably 2 years as the chief operating officer of that network marketing company. And after I did that, again, following people, I got a phone call from somebody. It's like, where's my next phone call, right? I got a phone call from somebody that says, hey, I need your help. And I became a senior vice president for the Lowe's Corporation. And I did that for 4 years. And then one day, it'll be kind of interesting, because I'm going to tie back to what you said, Joe. My phone rang one day, and I looked at it, and it said, Joe Giuliano. And I said, I'm not answering this. Honest to God. But Joe being Joe, he called me back. And he says, listen, we have this company. It's the most amazing product and I need you to just sit down with this guy named Alex, because I think you guys would be a good match, and we could use your help in this company. And I said, okay. He said, I'll send you some information. Okay. He calls me up about a week later, and he says, what'd you think of the information? I go, I don't know, I haven't looked at it yet. He said, well, I really need you to meet with Alex. And time went on, and he called me back again, and then he brought in the big gun. He brought Vicky to call me. For those of you who know Vicky, Vicky says, hey, I really need you to really go to lunch with Alex. So I met Alex for lunch, Alex and Vicky, one day. And I had very strong beliefs. And I swore to myself, and I'll tell you what side it fit on, but I really didn't ever intend to come back into network marketing. Never. Ever. Don't even like to hear about it. But I have things in my life and how I operate. And I said this to some folks last night. I put things on two sides. One's negotiable and one's non-negotiable. And the things on the non-negotiable side, I really don't change. But the negotiable side, I'll look at. And I run my life that way. And network marketing happened to be on the negotiable side. So I met with Alex to really think, what's this all about? So him and Vicky started to explain the company and where we were at. Alex explained a little bit about the product. And what was important to me, there's really two things that are important to me. One, does the leader of the company, are they passionate about their product? Because you got to be passionate about your product. And two, I will only operate with integrity. And this is an ugly business. Ugly business. And can this person and I match? Because I won't waver. That integrity piece is on the non-negotiable side. People that say, hey, I got this multi-million-dollar earner and they want you to pay him to come in. Never. Never. Hey, I've got a multi-million-dollar earner. They just want a top spot. They can have the top spot somewhere in your downline, wherever that is. They can build it on their own. Everybody's equal. And we will never compromise that. So Alex and I talked, and our beliefs were the same. Because for me, and I said this to Alex that day, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. It's not my role in an organization. Is that something you're really looking for? Do we believe the same things? And we did. So on a piece of paper, it was an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, they gave me their forecasts and where they're going and what they're doing and how the company's growing. And Alex says, what do you think? I go, nah, you're done. He goes, what do you mean? I go, you're going to run out of product. You're done. Look at this room. Right? So we started to put together, and Alex says, let's work together and do this. Now I'll tell you, I've heard a lot of hair comments today. Men, women are indifferent, so I thought I'd show you what I looked like that day with Alex. Where's that next picture? Come on. There it is. That's what I look like the day at lunch. Right? And together, we said, what do we need to do? Because we have a goal. And Alex, Joe, Frank, Chris and I sat down at dinner. I will tell you that Alex called me one day, and I said this in New Jersey too, because I really find it funny. Alex and I, hey, I'm coming to do some work here, and we're going to grow this thing. And he calls me one day and he says, hey, I need you to have this conversation with this guy named Chris Cavadon. And he's got some questions for you. And they're probably not easy. Okay. He says, but don't worry about it. I'll send you all the questions first. I said, that's perfect. A couple hours later, my phone rings. He goes, okay, you ready? Chris is on the phone. What happened to the list of questions? Oh, I forgot. Right? So Chris and I spent some time on the phone with Alex, and again, we just aligned directionally. So here's a couple of tidbits for me from you. My job is to hold Alex back. Because you heard this. Alex has 650 products that he's developed. He'd like you to have 650 products. We have one. And we're going to master one before we go to two. Okay? We'll master one so we can build a repeatable process that will take us to however many products we end up with. I don't know what it'll be in the future, but that's what it'll be. The second question I get asked a lot. Boy, it's great you're here. When did you start? May. How long are you staying? I just got here. Right? I'm not going anywhere. The only reason that I'll leave is because Alex asked me to leave. Or if there's an issue that compromises my integrity. For that, I'm out. Right? So we won't do that. And that's where Alex and I really align. Because you got to understand, Alex believes in the product and the business. I believe in the business and the product. Next question I get all the time. Man, we can make a fortune in Canada. We can make a fortune in Guam. We can make a fortune all over the world. We're going to make a fortune in the United States. That's where we're going to go. And we committed at a dinner with Chris and a group of leaders and Alex and I, we're going to take this company to $1 billion. $1 billion. And we're going to build the infrastructure to get us there with your help. And as we're going down that path, as we're getting closer, we'll then look at where do we go next and how do we get there. But I will tell you that I see this product, this one SKU, as a potential multi-billion-dollar SKU. One. Look at what we've done. I'm not aware of another company that doubled in size with no product, no credit card processing, and we barely answer the damn phones. To think there's 1,000+ people in this room. Are you guys crazy? But let me tell you what you got. I've done a lot of work with the DSA, the Direct Sales Association. I've done a lot of work in speaking with other network marketing companies over my years. This company has by far the best group of leaders that I've ever seen. Yes. Ever. With the effort you're putting in place, with the product we now have, right? Let me say it again. With the product we now have, and that the checks that'll soon come your way, this room, this hotel, we'll be in a convention center. I mean, that's where we're going to be. I mean, if you think about it, if we can bring 1,000 people from all over the country to say, oh, that's what it really looks like. In my coat pocket, I have a bottle. I was on the elevator coming down, and I have a bottle in my pocket, right? I don't know who was on the elevator with me. And I pulled that out, and they go, oh, you don't want to do that in here. You're going to need security. So listen, we're building a team. We're not going to be perfect. We're going to make mistakes. Call us on those mistakes. Reach out. Be honest. Follow the guidelines that we need to follow. The guidelines are very clear and very strict. Chris said it, Joe said it. Unbelievable, amazing product that my wife and I use. Unbelievable. I don't know of a thing it cures, but it makes me feel better. Right? That's important for me. We're going to put processes in place that support this business to our path of $1 billion. We're not going to look back, we're going to look forward. We are writing a chapter today, not a book. The book will come in the future. at $1 billion in a very short period of time. And again, Alex and I at lunch, we, on paper, looked at what does it take? How do we get there? And then Alex asked that great question of, what do I need to do? And let's go. And again, I think what you have today is something that's not real familiar in network marketing. An amazing product. Probably the best comp plan that I've ever seen, maybe too rich. Right? But it is what it is. I'm not changing it. I don't believe in changing it. We have an organization that the leaders believe in operating with transparency and integrity and will not compromise. Amen. With that, with this one little product, when we open the floodgates, it isn't 30,000 people, it isn't 60,000 people, it's hundreds of thousands of people very, very quick. And when people see the benefits of the product that you all have seen, it's going to take off like the space shuttle. And what my role and what I'm trying to accomplish with a team of people, and Ken Burgess, who's here in the back, that came on to help us with a lot of experience, is really to put together an organization that says you, with comfort, can go out there every day and build your business. And we, every day, will stand behind you. Right? So that's what's really important. So, again, we have an amazing leader in Alex who puts his life into this business every day. I have fun because we get to battle here and there, right? To do what's right, because we both want to make sure we're making the right decision for you. Alex is more concerned with you than anything else. His passion is this. And we have to remember that with this, we have a luxury. We have the greatest opportunity in America today to build $1 billion company. And with your help, we're going to get there. Have a great day.